With an old-timey feel, Havana's atmospheric colonial streets have definitely seen better days, although this only adds to the charm. The brightly colored buildings of Cuba's capital could all do with a lick of paint, but that would probably only detract from the ambience which Havana has in bucket loads. Visitors will revel in the wealth of historic buildings on show. Its scenic plazas are a delightful place to while away the day, watching Cadillacs trundle by and listening to the salsa that hypnotically plays over the airwaves. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Havana so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, La Habana Vieja. One of Latin America's largest colonial centers, La Habana Vieja is the site where the city first took root in 1519. Wandering around Havana's old town is a magical experience. Brightly colored buildings greet you wherever you go, and while most of them have definitely seen better days, this only adds to the charm. Getting lost amidst the winding streets is a must when in the city. You'll certainly come across a plethora of enchanting spots that you won't find in any guidebook. At number 9 is the El Malecon. Stretching for over 8 kilometers, El Malecon is Havana's main waterfront. Strolling along it while gazing out over the sparkling sea is a delightful way to spend an afternoon. As it was slowly built over 50 years, the buildings and districts you pass subtly change, reflecting the different time periods in which they were built. Little cafes and salsa bars are nestled away along the esplanade. With old Cadillacs trundling by and fishermen lining the waterfront, El Malecon is a scenic place with a lot of character. Sunsets are particularly splendid, as vivid yellows, reds, and oranges paint the buildings in the sun's warm glow. At number 8, Plaza Vieja. When Plaza Vieja was originally opened in 1559, it was known as New Square, though the weight of time now means it is one of the most historic places in Old Havana. Plaza Vieja is ringed by delightful colonial facades dating back to various epochs. Wonderful Cuban Baroque mansions can be found alongside elegant Art Nouveau buildings. In its time, it has hosted everything from executions and bullfights to fiestas and teeming markets. The bars, restaurants, and cafes found in Plaza Vieja make it a popular place to head to. At number 7, Fusterlandia. Now an artist's paradise, Fusterlandia is the creation of Jose Fuster, who transformed his neighborhood into the brightly colored world we see today. Starting out by decorating his own studio, the Cuban artist soon set to work on the buildings, bus stops, fountains and benches in the community. Now, everything is covered in tiles and naive art, which looks delightfully childlike and imaginative. Wandering around is a delight to the senses. The area now attracts lots of tourists as well as other artists, who come here to set up shop and add their own artworks. At number 6 in our list, Morro Castle. Guarding the entrance to Havana Bay, Morro Castle was built in 1589. Over the course of its history, the Spanish, British, and Cubans have all used it to protect and control Havana. With its dry moat, cannons, and well-preserved walls, it is an interesting place to wander around. In the barracks, you can see how the soldiers would have lived. From its ramparts, there are beautiful views out over the sea and Havana itself. Morro Castle is a popular tourist attraction in Havana with a wealth of history to explore. At number 5, Cementerio de Cristobal Colón. With over 800,000 graves, the cemetery, named after Christopher Columbus, is fascinating to wander around. The elaborate tombs are beautifully sculpted and are artworks in themselves. Crafted out of dazzlingly white stone, there are around 500 major mausoleums. Various parts of the cemetery are dedicated to poets and artists, while others feature politicians, baseball players, and musicians. one of the most important cemeteries in Latin America due to the architecture on display and the renowned people buried here, such as Beatriz Allende and Alejo Carpentier. Cementerio de Cristobal Colón is much more than just a cemetery. At number 4, Plaza de la Catedral. Named after the huge cathedral which dominates one side of it, Plaza de la Catedral is one of the main squares in Havana and is a lively place frequented by tourists and locals alike. Once a swamp, the square has also been a naval dockyard over its long history. Now, grand mansions which have definitely seen better days line the plaza. There is a dilapidated charm to it. In addition to the restaurants thronged with people, the wonderful colonial art museum is also located here. At number 3 in our list, El Capitolio. When gazing upon El Capitolio for the first time, you may have the sneaking suspicion that you've seen it before. You would be correct, as it is modeled on the famous US Capitol building. Hilariously, the Cubans made it just a little bit bigger than the one in the United States, just to show off what the Cuban Revolution was capable of. While it was once the seat of government, it now hosts the Cuban Academy of Sciences. One of the most recognizable and famous landmarks in the city, you'll certainly pass by El Capitolio at some point when visiting Havana. At number 2, Museo de la Revolucion. Located in a beautiful building that was once the presidential palace, the Museo de la Revolucion will teach you all there is to know about the Cuban Revolution that has so shaped the island's history. Taking you through the build-up to the revolution and its aftermath, it is a fascinating museum to wander around, although English explanations are sadly lacking. The elegant palatial rooms house memorabilia from the revolution, such as Che Guevara's gun and cap. Outside is the Grandma yacht, which brought the revolutionaries from Mexico to Cuba. Check out the number 1 places in our list, Playas del Este. Located just under 20 kilometers from Old Havana, Playas del Este is a great spot if you want to get out of the city and lounge on the beach in the sun. It is a popular spot with local Cubans. While the beaches themselves are lovely, there is a slightly decaying air about Playas del Este and the Soviet-esque hotels found here. An authentic place with no airs and graces, Playas del Este is where you head to in Havana if you want to go to the beach. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Havana? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.